Went to a local card show this weekend. We had some pretty good pickups. We picked up from 3 different vendors. Spent about $1,700. Filled up probably about like one row of a box here. So definitely super excited about these pickups. Excited to show you guys kind of what we picked up. So as I said, 3 different deals. Trying to also do a different camera angle. Hopefully you guys will be seeing me in the bottom of the screen here. Gonna try to figure out how to edit that. But if not, we'll kind of roll with it. But definitely want to try something new, kind of try to figure out a little bit more on the editing side of things. But picked up this little lot here for $205. So we got the Ashton Jeanty. This is a crystal ball short print out of 15. Obviously just got drafted. Kind of a timely pickup there. And the rest is going to be all Roman Anthony. So I got the Leaf Metal. This is the Mojo out of 7. We have the Silver Wave. This is out of 9. And then we had 2 of these Steel Cracked Ice, both out of 5. I think the 2 of 5 and 3 of 5. So picked all those up for $205. I think that was a pretty good deal. And then this is probably the steal of the show. So I spent $740 on this lot. Picked up a Cooper Flag. This is out of 35 on the Orange Wave. This card I put up on eBay. Has a few solds. I'm not sure if his value is going to go down a little bit with the... there hasn't been any sold since March Madness, so I'm thinking this will go down a tiny bit here. Talking to the dealer, he was like, well, he's going to be the #1 pick, but that hype's already there. Everyone knows he's going to be the #1 pick, so... I got these cards at 70% comp. I comped all 4 of these at about $1,000 and paid $740, so like 74%. So... I might send this one in for grading. It looks maybe slightly off center, but I think it will still fit even with PSA's tighter grading there for centering. And there's just a tiny bit of white here. The rest of the corners look pretty good, so I think it'll get a 9. But would be happy with a 9. As long as I think it will get the 9, I'll probably send it in. Again, Cooper Flag with Sarah Strong at a 25 on the McDonald's Combo Talents. And then LeBron James for the new Prism. This is at a 175 for the Choctaws White Refractor, and we end it with a Kylian Mbappe Color Blast PSA 9. So I put this up on my eBay last night for $350. It's already sold after shipping fees, everything. I'm gonna net just about $300, probably a little bit over that. So I'm very happy with that deal. If I can sell the 2 Cooper Flags, I think like the LeBron will pretty much be my profit. Then I have one huge deal here. Did a big deal with this vendor before. Kind of want to build up the relationship. I don't know if this was the best buy, per se. It's going to be a lot of work for not much profit, I don't think. Maybe make a couple $100, hopefully, off this deal. All these kind of are like lower end cards. Nothing too crazy here, like $1 to $5 cards. These I plan on running through my Dibdit auctions. But, you know, just... stuff you don't see every day. It's not just your base rookies. Something a little bit different. I don't want to just run a bunch of like, you know, first Bowmans and that kind of stuff. So better names, better cards, numbered. You know, the Pee-wee Reese is at a $4.99. So nothing too crazy. Probably not worth putting on eBay, but happy to have that there. And these are going to be the better cards. These have a wide range. The last time I dug through this guy's box, he kind of has like a, what I consider like a dollar box, with higher end stuff, so he kind of just throws a bunch of stuff in there, and you can get a card that's worth, you know, $1 to... I got a card that I sold for $120 in his box, so they kind of has a wide range. This time it wasn't as good. Last time I picked up 4 101s. This time definitely not quite there, but definitely some more interesting stuff, cooler stuff. Jose Abreu out of 10. We got the Lou Bob out of 25 on the Jersey Relic. I didn't notice this was numbered. The numbering on this is like next to impossible to see on the stripe there. But the Moon Dust, Green Moon Dust out of 75. This actually had a pretty good comp. I think like $20. The Mike Yastrzemski, I've already sold this one. This sold for $11. Chloe Kim card that I'm probably gonna price a little higher than what I should, but you know, a cool card. Something obviously not a whole lot of snowboarding cards in the collection. She's one of the best. Very young. She's gonna be relevant with, you know, every time the Winter Olympics are coming up and X Games, that kind of stuff, you're going to hear her name a lot. So, cool card to have of hers. Jack Eichel, it's out of 10. No real comps on this. Someone has one out of 15 with a pretty good patch, and then this patch isn't as good, just kind of like a solid color patch. They're asking $235. Obviously, it hasn't sold. So I valued this card at 200 out of 10, with a better patch. It sold, I think, maybe a year or two ago for about 250. So it might be a slow sale, but a cool card just to have. Evan Carter at a 25, the Stella Nova with the case hit orange. Cool card to have, but he went to the minor leagues in the beginning of the year. I heard he was struggling in the beginning of the year, so might be a card I have to hold on to for a while. Skeens Mount Rushmore at a 15, pretty cool card there. Cameron Dicker, I always pick up kicker autos. There's obviously not a ton of them. If the fans like the kicker, it goes pretty well. So anytime I can get my hands on one, I throw it in there. That one didn't have a ton of value. And then 2-star cards, I know nothing about them, but numbered out of 50 and numbered out of 25. I got these because I could lot them up, same player, same team, obviously. Same exact card, just different numbering. So figured I could lot those up. I put those up for 20 bucks. They sold instantly. Finding comps on this was next to impossible. There were no real comps. So I took my best guess. I could see some autos were selling for the gold for like 15, 20 bucks. So I valued the gold at like 8. Figured maybe the black out of 25 would be like a $12 card. Probably should have priced up a little bit because it sold within minutes, but I didn't want to price that too high. I wanted to get that moving, but buying 2 of the same card was definitely nice, being able to flip it that way. Connor Bedard, rookie, got $5 card. This Catfish Hunter sold pretty quickly. Out of 75 on the All Aces Gold. This sold for 20 bucks overnight. Bedard, rookie on your red orange. I think it says red orange. Max Verstappen out of 99. He gave me this for like $2. This should sell anywhere from like 10 to 20 bucks. And then we couldn't find a comp on this. He found a card that was being listed for 20 bucks, not numbered. Going back, you can see one sale of the blue sold for $80 in the US, and then one outside the US sold for $50, but obviously you have to pay for importing it and additional fees. So I'm guessing like 60 to 80 range this card should sell for. So got a pretty good steal on that. Brian Hayes out of 50. O'Neal Cruz out of 10. This card, so when I put my stack together, I had my like lower end cards, and he had this on the table. I was a little off on the lower end stuff. He priced it at $320. I didn't really quite want to get to that point, but I was like, well, maybe I can like throw some cards together that are on the table. Asked how much he wanted for the Scooble. He told me $5. So I threw that in the pile as quick as I possibly could. Anywhere from like $60 to $100 sales on this card recently. Cy Young winner last year. I haven't really followed him this year. I don't know how well he came off to start for this year, but kind of a color match with the Tigers there too. Pretty nice looking card. So made me feel good about the lower end stuff. So we kept on working from there as well. Another soccer, didn't pick up much soccer, but out of 25, took a chance on it. This is only like, he has one sale of $6 for like 2 years ago. Nothing up for sale. So Mahomes on the flight, it's about a $10 card. More lower end stuff. Probably should just put this on my did it auction, but you ordered out of 99. It's a cool night vision Pulisic out of 175, about a $20 card, and John Morant on the Spellbound. As you saw, I got a bunch of the John Morants, got some lower end ones of those as well. The orange die cut does a little better. Leon Draisaitl. Just thought this was just a pretty cool card. This one has comps of 8 to like 20 bucks. Bryce Harper out of 2017. Vince Carter out of 25. This sold 3 years ago for $10. There's one listed on eBay right now for $99. I put mine up, I think, for 15, maybe 20 bucks. We'll see how fast that moves and if it moves. McCaffrey out of 75. Matt Chapman, this just sold. Put it up probably a little too low. Someone has there's up for 25. Comps are around 10 to 12 bucks. I put mine up for 15, sold instantly. Probably could have gotten close to the 20. Put both these Tyler Glasnows together, like $5, nothing crazy there. Willie Stargell out of $4.99. Vladimir Guerrero on the Aqua. Wrestling, I know the women in wrestling do pretty well, so I figured out of 35, pick it up. About a $10 to $15 card. Babe Ruth, I thought this would be a little bit better. Babe Ruth out of 25. There's comps. The orange out of 25 sold recently for $25. I thought this would be closer to like a $50 card. That's what the vendor thought as well. It's probably going to be, I'm going to hope to get 40 out of it. We'll see. Leroy Kelly, just a cool Prism auto. Connor Bedard again. And then we got a couple of Wemby rookies. Anytime I can throw in some Wemby rookies, definitely have those easy to move. And end it with a Gary Payton, or not end it, but before we get to the slabs, Gary Payton 2 for the second out of 10. Got one more sneaking in here, Pepperell. This is the kind of cards I like, the early 2000s, X-Fractor Gold. This is out of 199. Pretty sweet looking card though. It's one of the sets I collected when I was younger. And then a couple bigger cards to kind of end it here. So we have the Larry Walker, or Kenneth Walker, the third out of 249 at 9.5 on the Beckett. He threw this in for free. Just asked him, he gave me 3 slabs that I could look at, and he told me to pick one of them, so pick this one. He threw that one in completely free. But Jalen Waddle, this is 9 out of the Beckett Auto 10. I really looked this card over pretty well. I don't see any dimples. I wonder, like, it looks like there's some like whitening here. And I wonder if the card just was not wiped down properly, given like a good like buffing with the rag there before sending it out. So I might crack this and see if I can send it to PSA and at least get a 9, maybe a 10. Raw just sold for $250. I think I could probably get $250, $300 for it in the BGS slab, but thinking about, this is the only card I haven't listed yet. Thinking about sending this in with the Cooper Flag. If the Cooper Flag doesn't sell in like the next couple days, I'll probably move that to grading. But debating on cracking that open and sending that. And he gave this to me for, I think we agreed to $45 he threw this in for. So no comps on this exact one. A lot of the chrome has comps, but Bowman draft pick, Ronald Acuna Jr., auto, Gem Mint 10. There's a chrome version of this exact card that sold for $220, so I think this is probably like 160 to maybe 180-ish for this variation. Trying to figure out a pop report on this. I don't know too much about looking up like the on-card auto. I tried scanning it, didn't really come up with one, so I'm gonna have to do a little bit of digging, kind of figure that out, because that might be helpful for the paper if it has a low print run for the Gem Mint 10. So we'll see, but this is everything we picked up. Spent about $1,700 at the card show this weekend. Excited to add this kind of inventory to my collection in my inventory. This is really the kind of stuff I want to be buying and selling, you know, buying 4 cards for $700 and hopefully making, you know, $300 to $400 for just 4 cards rather than buying, you know, 200 cards to make $200 is definitely the way I want to move. I know there's a little bit more risk in it, but having fun with it. Super excited for this purchase. If you guys can give us a follow and drop a like on this video, it definitely helps us out, and we'll catch you on the next one.